All right, work-life balance. I've seen a lot of different narratives in the self-help, the business world. One is E-Myth, Michael Gerber. It's a great book. I read it a while back, and it talks about a few, difference between owning a business and owning a job. There are a lot of gurus out there that will have this attitude where, there's difference between working on your business and in your business. And if you have to work or show up to this business every day, you don't own a business, you own a job. There is a very different narrative that comes from Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank, and he wrote Cold Hard Truth. His name. Kevin O'Leary said that he doesn't know any wealthy entrepreneur with a balanced social life or balanced private life. So his narrative on what it's like to be an entrepreneur is very different. Now he does talk about delegation, getting many things off your plate as possible, but to be that kind of an entrepreneur in the hundreds of millions or perhaps billions of dollars, you're working 24/7. So it's a very different narrative from what Kevin O'Leary wrote to what the E-Myth with Michael Gerber wrote. Now, the reason why I like real estate is because I don't have to be present at these projects 24/7. So there's a lot less amount of leadership that I have to provide for contractors. And I don't have to have office staff if I don't want to. I've actually found over the last year that I don't like having office staff. Leadership is just not my thing. It really doesn't give me a lot of enthusiasm and excitement as I thought it would before. So what I can build the business that I want to build, and that's more of a solopreneur model where I can take on as many projects as I want, I can build my portfolio to have as many rentals as I want, and I can take on as many flip projects or wholesale projects as I want. So, and I can set the pace, I can delegate certain things, and it's mainly the things that I like to delegate are the things that I'm not good at. And you'll learn that in, Kevin O'Leary talks a lot about that, and some of the other textbooks talk about, playing to your strengths and delegating your weaknesses. So for me, that is logistics, scheduling, and a lot of times it's going to be the delivery of these renovated houses, whether they're for rent or they're for sale. So I delegate a lot of that because that's not my strong point. What I stay on top of is the marketing, the sales, talking to the sellers, negotiating and analyzing the deals, and actually buying the houses, the acquisitions. That's what gives me a lot of energy, and that's where I choose to spend my time. So with real estate, it does give me a lot of flexibility to build the type of business that I want to build, though I don't agree with this. It's usually the influencers, the people that you only see them on social media and you don't have a lot of tangible evidence as to what other type of businesses that they've built. You only see them on their influencers channel, their Instagram, their YouTube, TikTok, so on and so forth. With Kevin O'Leary, he was brought on to Shark Tank, and it was actually Dragon's Den in Canada long before he ever became an influencer. So this is a guy that we have much more hard, tangible evidence that he was a very successful business person before he became an influencer. Now, a lot of, even if you read into the E-Myth and you read some materials on Michael Gerber, yes, before he did a lot of things that didn't work before he became a consultant. I'm not saying it's bad. I like the book. I've read it. I recommend that other people read it, but sometimes adhering to this E-Myth as an academic or as an academic exercise, I don't think it's healthy. I think that what we need to do is find a balance between what type of business we want to own, delegating weaknesses, and then playing to our strengths. And if we want to have a strong family life and put boundaries in place, like let's say, for example, we're working from 8 a.m. and then we're going to stop at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., and then have family time, I think we can do that. In the beginning, it's very difficult, especially when you're building, but once you get some momentum going, then you can start. Dan Martell, who wrote the book Buy Back Your Time, which I think is an excellent book, he wrote about, after you build a business, you can start to buy back your time by hiring people to do those things that you're not doing anymore. So hopefully those books help you out. I think they're great. And again, like anything else, if you work in your business, not on your business, you're self-employed, you're not an entrepreneur. I know this isn't an academic exercise. It's not that cut and dry. So get out there. Let me know what questions you have in the questions below.